Hello, I'm Anders. This is Stars in the Dark. You probably know that if you're watching this. If not, start with the first video. Last session, we did some downtime after the big fight in the sewers. We had some discussion back and forth on what mission to do moving forward, who to save, basically. And we, yeah, that's, I think everyone did their downtime actions.
Yes, we make sure to do that because we knew we wouldn't forget about it. Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, you led off with all the faction level stuff. We did the downtime actions because we knew we would forget if we waited.
Yeah, and I've added some on the. I added the current events tab last time. Now I've actually put some information there, and I've split it into two columns: one for like general background stuff, and one for specific stuff from the jobs. This has from your job and from the one shot I ran with the other people. I'm not going to go back and add in stuff that we've played before unless someone really wants me to. I could make some short notes, but I think I'll just put in things there as we move forward to so we can remember what's happened. Cool. We did all the downtime actions, but you can still gather info for the stuff you want to do. I remember someone talking about doing reduced heat, but I don't think we actually did that. I think you got too busy with other things. Is that right?
So yeah.
So I remember we were discussing whether or not to save our boss or her sister.
Yeah.
And we managed, we storyline managed that I kind of manipulated everybody into going after the sister because I'm paranoid about what she might say or not say or what she's given out. And we'll deal with the consequences later. We're also still trying to figure out where exactly our boss and Hrar, the Wookiee, and all of them are. But we also, all we know about, really, I think all we know about the sister is Black Sun took her, right? Like that's about all we know.
That is the suspicion anyway.
Right.
Becker, who is the one person from Max's group who you know is still free or at liberty or whatever, not captured. He recognized the people that Tiri was delivered to as mercenaries who worked for Black Sun. That was his. So his suspicion is that she's been taken by Black Sun. But you don't have confirmation on that. You don't know where she's kept. You don't know who's holding her.
Do any of us have Black Sun contacts?
I don't.
Or Black Sun enemy contacts that might be watching them? I've defined, unfortunately, everybody on my friends and rivals sheet. We've met Telda. Darmot's a street stack officer, so he's obviously not Black Sun. And then there was Frake, the security expert. Edema and I went there, but we were high when we went there, and he didn't think very highly of us. So he was kind of
his loss.
Yeah. And then Rosalind's my aunt, and Petra is the sexy Imperial clerk that's helping us out. Um,
Sexy Imperial clerk. That's definitely a cosplay opportunity.
there's an organ dealer on Morn's character sheet. Jewel, have we encountered them?
I don't think so. I think they were mentioned in passing when you got rid of a body the first session,
Okay.
but never developed as a character. Boko also has an assassin and a bounty hunter. Either of those
Ooh.
could easily be connected to Black Sun or know about things related to Black Sun.
Yeah.
Could we just hire a bounty hunter to get her?
We become
You
Mr.
could
Johnson's.
definitely hire. You could definitely. You could do that. Absolutely. You have enough threads between you to put up a sizable bounty, I think. Let's see. You have one in the vault. That must do this 3, 6. With Morn's 3, you have 9.
This one pays 8, so we'll make our money back.
Oh, this is messed up.
Yeah,
Well,
I mean,
And you know what? If they get killed, we don't have to pay. So
Could we hire a bounty hunter to like lead us in, or someone that like knows Black Sun? Like, I don't know. I'm just thinking that maybe like a guest star would be a good portion of this episode, right? Like, I don't know.
yeah.
The Rock comes in and he's going to be here for an episode.
Yeah.
or if we
celebrity
could
guest
use
star.
some of those creds to bribe like a lower level Black Sun guy and see if they could get us in as well. I like the Rock
Yeah,
idea though. That's
I think hiring someone to go in there along with you kind of feels like an acquire asset sort of thing.
True.
Which
But we wanna-
means you can't do it now because you don't have any downtime actions unless you pay for the downtime actions as a separate thing. Which you can do. You can pay.
Yeah, I'm not opposed to that.
Yeah, I can pay. I'll do that.
rep.
I've got 3 creds sitting there doing nothing.
I think Morin is very willing to spend his money. To help us out.
I just
True,
gotta
true.
let me go over to Warren and uncheck it right now. Oh wow, I've got a lot of money here. Let me help you guys out.
Man, really bringing it today.
Thanks. You know.
Yeah, you can absolutely hire a bounty hunter to help you, or you can put up hire a bounty hunter to go in by themselves. If you're hiring them to both find out where Tiri are and where Tiri is and what's going on and who's holding her and all of that, if you're basically just telling them, we think Black Sun has this person we want to rescue, then it's going to cost more than if you've done some of the groundwork and can tell them that, yeah, she's being held here, there's this kind of security, that sort of thing.
Yeah, I can definitely do some recon ahead of time. Do a survey probably.
Yeah,
out the area.
the only place you've identified for sure as being Black Sun is that, or related to Black Sun currently, is that, or actually there's a couple of things. You have the weapons factory we talked about, where they skim a bit off the top. That's currently shut down because of the riots and street fighting in the foundry.
Right.
And then you have the person that I think, no, sorry, that was the cartel, right? The person that Celine was in contact with. That was the cartel, I think. I'll make note of that on her. Yeah, so you're kind of a bit in the dark about Black Sun. You don't really have any good place to start currently, which means it will probably take some in-game time to find out enough actually do something about it. That's not a reason not to do that, but it means there will be things with Maxa and Roar and the others will have developed more
Right.
because you're spending more actual time. So I think what we need to do, maybe out of character, I think out of character with this, I think you were leaning towards rescuing Thierry.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think we went that way. Let's go that way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So then I think what you need to do is some gather info to get enough to go on, or alternatively, you hire someone to do that for you. You could do that's probably an acquire asset as well, I think, to hire someone to find out about Black Sun for you while you go do the other mission. I mean, it depends on how you want to prioritize, or the other way around. You but you need to figure out some way to find out where Thierry is being held before you can rescue her, obviously. And I mean, there are plenty of people around who will claim they are connected to Black Sun. Whether that is true or not, that's another thing. And so you may have to, it's possible that rescuing Thierry will have to be like a 2-stage mission. You do one job to get the information, and then you do one job to actually rescue her.
Yeah, I think I'm going to start by doing a survey of the shutdown factory, the munitions place, to see if I can follow anyone back to Black Sun Place, or see if there's anything there that point me in the right direction.
Cool.
Somewhere.
Let's start there, and we'll see
Yeah.
what happens.
Let's survey for 2 dice. We'll start there. Yeah, 2 dice is good. Yeah. 6 and a 5. All right.
Nice. Yeah, you get a good picture of who's going in and out there. There are stormtroopers guarding the place because presumably because they're worried that the weapons in there will fall into the hands. So will be looted basically by the rioters and potential resistance movement. There's like a skeleton crew of workers who are there just to make sure nothing happens, keep the power on, but and just everything is shut down, but you don't want everything to be shut down for too long. You want to keep like a minimum. You want, at the very least, you want to keep the alarms and the fire extinguishers, fire control systems running. That's what. So there's a skeleton crew, and there is a couple of people who don't seem to belong in either of those categories. They could definitely be Black Sun. They have that kind of vibe. Like these are they're very they look like serious people who could be involved in something. You follow them, and think on a stick you're definitely going to be able to find out something more. They have a relatively fancy speeder that they ride in, speeder vehicle. Not a limo or anything like that, but a nice, like an upscale vehicle, and they on the second time you see that vehicle, you follow them to a place in the foothills. It's and the foothills is for that's an area where the people live who want to live in the heights, where the fancy people live. There's yeah, it's like upper middle class. Many who have higher positions in the bureaucracy and don't live in Sextech live there. And a lot of like managers and that sort of thing who may work in the foundry or in Bright Market, they live there. So it's not quite as overtly fancy as Bright Market is. Bright Market is for the business people. This is more like
Want to be fancy, yeah.
Yeah. You follow them to a place there. It's one of the relatively few office buildings in the foothills. And you don't know where they go inside unless you want to follow them, which you can do.
I can send my tracking body in too, I think.
Yeah.
Tracking droid.
Yeah, absolutely.
Stay safe distance.
You find them again on, and this is like one of these big massive buildings. So it's they're way up in that building, not at the very top, but somewhat towards the top. You send your droid like from the outside, and it's the parts that where the windows aren't like blocked or prevented, covered with something that prevents surveillance. It looks like fairly normal offices. It's hard to tell, but the people you can see there, they don't look like office workers. This could definitely be a place. They look like people who could be involved in organized crime. They have there's plenty of guns that you see, and that's
cool. Yeah. So after after that little outing, I come back to the ship hideout, report my findings. Sounds like we have at least a thread to pull on here. I don't know if we want to do more asking around, more looking around, or if we want to sort of go and see if we can ask some questions ourselves. Take a look around.
Yeah, Mike. Go ahead.
Oh, no.
Yeah, I just wanted to say that my I haven't seen that much of Black Sun in the Star Wars media that I watch. My personal view of them is that they are like the high-end criminal syndicate. They're very organized. They're very ruthless. They are more on the high-tech side than the Hutt Cartel. The Hutt Cartel are kind of they're more like the movie Mob, and Black Sun is more like the fancy, cool, high-tech criminal syndicate.
That's my headcanon too. So perfect. Yeah, I'm right with you.
And as such, it's fairly likely that if you can get access to that office, there will be, if there is information, it's fairly likely that there's information there or a way to get information from there or from someone there about where Thierry would be held. If they presumably have some kind of computer record or something, or you could hack into their comms or that sort of thing. But doing that would be a job in itself.
Yeah.
Unless you hire someone to do that, but then you have to probably do another job while you're waiting for them to do what they're doing, and you don't know how well they will actually manage that.
Well, I have my stealth stuff that I haven't used in a while. So there's definitely that. And I have my lock breaker back, but do we have any? I guess we're all kind of okay at this kind of job. We're not.
Yeah.
Bria's just concerned because she knows that, you know, if Black Sun finds out we're coming, we've lost our chance, right?
Yeah.
They'll lock her up. They'll move her to another location. Like we get one shot, and so that's what's got her biting her fingernails at this point. Is, you know.
Yeah, but that's assuming they know what you're after when you go there.
True.
What kind of jobs or operations work are Black Sun involved in the area, I guess?
They're definitely in conflict with the Hut cartel about the drug trade, over the drug trade. That's a big part of it. Otherwise, they are, I mean, they're a big crime syndicate. They're involved with a lot of things, but they do more than the Hut cartel. They're involved in smuggling and like corporate raiding sort of things, like or like financial crime. A bit, not a huge amount, but they do a bit of that.
Well, we do have a drug contact though. You got Zori, right? Zori might know the ins and outs of what's going on with the drug war.
Oh, and we love Zori.
Yeah. Why don't I go and talk to her and make a roll for like consort and see what we can find out?
Adam will come with you. I've got your back, Bree. I'll come with you.
You should. Actually, okay, would you come along?
I absolutely will, yeah.
Yes,
okay,
the whole crew.
Yeah.
What is your relationship with like drug use and drug users and stuff like that? Like, is this common for you, or is this the guy that walks in? Like,
I think, like
okay.
this was like when I was a cop, obviously on the wrong side, or maybe both sides of that. But but mostly a professional interest, either as a criminal or a cop.
Why don't I set up a dinner for us at like my favorite place, the Inverted Fork?
Yeah.
And that way, if she has anything to say, she won't have to do it in front of underlings or people won't be listening. What did we come up with for the Inverted Fork, Rich?
Was it like a dim sum kind of place?
Yeah, but there's it's specifically like traditional food that normally people like. It's kind of like Chinese food. Like it's authentic instead of what everybody else eats. I'm trying to remember the name of the race that we did that with.
Hold on. I will tell you in just a
The
minute.
group, I think.
Yeah. Yeah.
I think it's in the. Did we put it in the locations? Yeah. Inverted Fork is a Togrutan restaurant with
Yeah,
two
yeah,
Togrutan dishes are available. Not the
Yeah.
humanized slop that upper levels say.
There we go.
Nice. You beat me
Nice.
to it.
Let's do it. I invite
Yeah.
Zori Bliss out for dinner.
Yeah, she's happy to come along. She likes you. She brings brings Jorgen with her,
Okay.
and they are still wearing their masks.
Mhm.
They're and I think she the owner of the restaurant is first surprised, but then very helpful. The first server you get is whisked away, and you know that this is the owner who personally takes care of.
Let's give him a name.
Bit unclear if they're just scared or if they have if it's more of a showing respect, but Zori does have a lot of pull in this area, so
Okay.
they probably
go with-
know of her even if she hasn't been there before.
Okay. The owner's name is Rana Tay, Raanatey. I'm getting it from the species helper. Column
Sweet.
L.
Hey,
L7.
where is Zori? Oh, I spun past her like 4 times. Okay, there we go. Nice,
Yeah.
nice.
Zori is some gang leaders and Jorgen
Yep.
some various scoundrels.
Yep. Jorgen, the mask. Wow, they don't even bother taking off their masks. And how I think Edinburgh would say, like, how are you planning on eating? This food is really good.
Oh, don't you worry about that. We can handle it. It's and I think Zori like pulls off like the lower half of her mask, and she like lowers it, and she can fasten it to her clothes, and it's a holding thing there.
Yeah, it looks like a necklace now instead of a mask, right?
Hanging down.
Yeah. And Jorgen, his mask is like fabric, so he just pulls it up.
He does the
probably
Spider-Man
not going
thing.
to
That's
be
great.
entirely clean after he's eaten, but you know, he's a
Okay.
street thug, not a fancy restaurant person.
Okay. So I'm gonna roll consort. Or do we want to do some role play first? Or do we want to see what the dice do and then we can role play? Or
Always role
It
play.
would be
Always.
nice to get some role play in, but
yeah, okay. Let's start with that then.
yeah, Zori. I think it was you, Bria, who visited Zori. You had did your
Downtime there.
yeah.
I got like a back rub and stuff like that. Like it was
Yeah,
all
yeah,
nice. Yeah.
Yeah, she's very friendly with you. She's a bit like touchy-feely, like touches your arm a bit and that sort of thing. But that seems to be how she is. She's the same way with Jorgen.
Okay.
Like very physical in that sense. No, not like it's very light and gentle, but she's yeah, she touches people a lot.
Got it.
And Sebastian is on the floor beside the table. No one said anything that he couldn't be there, so he's there.
What is it, like a emotional support animal?
He's probably part that, part bodyguard. He has you know that he has some implants and modifications, that sort of thing. So
Oh, I see.
he's probably quite capable of putting the heart on someone.
Which is emotionally supportive to Zori.
Yeah.
So like I'm ordering dishes and like they're coming in like on plates and stuff like that, like dim sum or tapas or whatever. And I asked Zori if she's been here before. I got the impression she hasn't, but I'll just go ahead and ask her.
No, not in this this particular restaurant. I do enjoy Togrutan food. It's very spicy, very different from regular imperial fare.
Definitely. Yeah, I like this place. I look over at Adam. I'm like, I've run through here once or twice, referencing a story that no one's heard. But
Adam will chuckle at that.
Yeah. I'm like, the kitchens are perfect. Believe me, I've seen them. They're on top of things. How is Jorgen liking the food when I look over?
He's eating. He seems to sometimes he tastes something and it's very clear when he likes something and when he doesn't, and when he doesn't like something he just pushes it aside and he takes a bite and
nice.
not having any more of that, and when he finds something he likes, he eats a lot of it. Yes, he clearly has a healthy appetite.
Well, I get really red in the face because I actually can't take the spice. Like it's kind of like a punishment kind of thing. Like I like eating here because it like kind of pushes my limits. How about you, Boko? Is this something you would eat, or is this something you just
it's it's a small bite-sized food. So I think Boko just like tries a little bit of everything. Some stuff he likes, some stuff he doesn't. But just like is very just like, yep, this is I think it's probably maybe not the first time he's been here either. Or definitely the same kind of stuff he takes brain fart. Same kind of what am I trying to say? Like the size and shape of food he likes.
Oh, I see. Yeah, right.
Or like stuff you can like have in a takeout container on a stakeout or whatever.
Right on a stakeout. Oh,
yeah,
geez.
and you probably had a lot of like imperialized Togrutan food,
Yep,
so
like,
you
this is
recognize
way better than the
many
stuff
of the
I'm used
dishes, but this is the authentic stuff, so it's
happy to be here.
It reminds me of in real life where I actually went to an authentic Chinese restaurant, and there are items on the menu that are served cold that aren't like, it's kind of like, sandwiches are made cold, right? Like we put meat on bread and stuff like that. Like, so like they served these meats and we're like, they didn't cook this. No. And my companions that brought us here, like, they wouldn't. Right. So it's like encountering things I just didn't expect. I love that kind of experience.
Has Boko met Zori before? I don't remember.
Only in passing.
Yeah.
So
I think there's like half eating with one hand, half sort of like just keeping an eye on stuff. Still trying to figure out who's what.
Unless someone stops me, I'm going to tell the story of how we got the e-web. That's the name of the gun, right?
Great story.
I love that story.
Yeah.
Right.
But by the way, before she starts eating, and X card me if you like, but I think Edema reaches up and pulls out she's got like a little septum piercing, and she pulls that out because she knows when she eats too much hot stuff, her nose might run, and she doesn't want to deal with it.
I love
So,
it.
it's probably a thing that you've never seen, Boko, but Bria knows what
Yep.
that's about because Edible would have explained it.
Oh man. Have you had your nose broken a lot? Is it like hard to get out because or anything like that?
Yeah. I think she's had her nose cracked a number of times.
Oh, and so then like in the middle of the story, I'm like, yeah, have you ever seen shock boxing? Like Edema tears it apart, etc. So I'm just if I had overindulged, this is what I would be doing, like just telling story after story after story. I'm overindulging without having to make the roll.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
But
Zori, she listens politely and she asks questions in the right places. She's clearly a skilled conversationalist. She knows how to entertain and to allow herself to be entertained. Jorgen, he asks the basic questions about because you're talking about the Dark Lord's Faithful, that's where you got the E-Web, and he wants to know what kind of equipment they had and what their setup was like, and that sort of thing. He's definitely interested in the practical side of things. He's also avoiding the most spicy food. It's very clear from his reactions that he's not into that. Zori, she eats a little bit of everything. It's hard to judge her exact reactions, but she seems to have a reasonably high tolerance for the stronger tastes.
So then, like after all of that, I turn it to Zori. I'm like, so what's going on in your world? And I try to work her way towards like a Black Sun conversation.
Yeah, I think that's when we make the roll.
Excellent. All right, I have a consort of 1.
Do we want to make this a group action?
Ooh.
Since we're all doing a thing.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we can do that.
All right, I'll lead it. And
Even though my consort is.
you have a 1. We all have a 1.
I have a 1. Yeah.
All right, I'll roll first. Add a d6. And I got a 6. All right.
What?
Nice.
Nice.
I will consort. I think Edema like backs up Bria's story with a few occasional details, and she drops into the more technical stuff to keep Jordan more interested, that kind of stuff. Yeah. But to no avail. She gets 2, so it's a little too
one
deep in
stress
there.
for Bria.
Yeah.
Yep.
A 6. Yeah. So
Nice.
yeah. I think between sort of like just shoveling it in, like emphasizing points, or like, oh yeah, and they were like that, or yeah, that kind of thing.
Yeah, and I think what happens is that you move from that, because when you got the E-Web, you were shooting it out the back of the theater you were escaping in. You had to get through the stormtroopers and the patrols, and that develops into discussing the situation in the foundry in general and her current situation. So since I'm logged into the dice roller right now, I'm just going to make
Dice cam.
Oh, sorry, no dice cam right now. Since I have the dice roller up, I'll use that.
Oh, okay.
I'll make a fortune roll to see how her situation has been. So let's see. It's good. She gets a 4. So
Critical 4.
they are getting by. They're hurt a bit by the chaos and the patrols, but they're also they can take some advantage they've been able to take advantage of the fact that the Thousand Knives were smashed pretty hard. So there's some freedom there, and the gangs who aren't really at home in the foundry, they stay out now. So there's more opportunities for those who are left there. And you got rid of the competition from the delivery company. So they're trying to stay out of the fighting, and it's kind of a mixed bag otherwise what's happening. But they're holding their own when it comes to revenue, at least. That's the impression you get. And there I lost connection to the DICE server. That's how long I get to stay in. It's like a couple of minutes. Yeah, but on a 6, you get to, I'm not actually sure who would be their supplier. I'm going to make a roll for this as well. And now I guess we switch to the dice cam then. So let's see. Virtual background. I'm going to make a roll. Because the way I see it, it could be they could get their money or their drugs from Black Sun. It could be the cartel, or they could have their own contact, like out of that delivers directly to them. But that seems fairly unlikely. And I think in the foundry, Black Sun is probably stronger than the cartel. I think the cartel is more because Black Sun has more sway in the more upscale areas, and the foundry is sort of more connected to that. So let's see. On a 1 to 3, their connection is with Black Sun. 4 or 5, it's cartel, and 6, it's something else. That's a 1. So Black Sun is their supplier, not directly. Probably there's some sort of in between. Oops, wrong background. There we go. But their suppliers are connected to Black Sun. And so, what do you want to know? How do you want to steer the conversation? What kind of information are you interested in regarding Black Sun?
Probably should have thought of this before I made the roll. It's like in Monster Hearts when you roll to gaze into the abyss. It's like ask your question before you roll the dice.
Yeah. I keep forgetting that about this about gather information. Should ask the question first. What
We
she
can
can well, the impression you get is that she doesn't enjoy working with Black Sun, but she thinks they're more reliable than the Hut Cartel. They're less likely they're less arbitrary. They're very harsh if something goes wrong. If she doesn't hold up her end of the deal, she's going to be in very serious trouble. But you know what to expect with Black Sun.
Well, it sounds like she's experienced that. So I'm going to try to weave it towards, has she ever had one of her gang members taken from her? And maybe that'll be the same pattern as them taking this other, taking the sister.
Yeah, she doesn't go into detail about it, but the impression you get is that her predecessor was eliminated by Black Sun because they failed to live up to the deal, or tried to cheat them or something, or at least Black Sun thought they were trying to cheat them. And that's when she could step in and take over. But it seems that but she you try to prod a bit about that, and it's they don't grab people they're working with. They may request someone's presence at a certain place very strongly, but they don't just grab them unless they suspect they're doing something wrong, and want to have a nice friendly conversation with some electropliers or something. But yeah, as long as you do what you're supposed to, they don't interfere.
So I'm going to look at Edema and Boko and kind of silently ask if I should just go ahead and tell her our situation and then see if she can give us anything she knows. But
You know,
I don't
that's
know.
all about like, yeah, I think we're stymied here. We got to be up front, or we like push ahead full, or withdraw. We're done. Is
Yeah.
Emma's
Or
general
maybe come at it just like, do you know, asking if she knows about their relationship with Max's,
Yeah.
and then use that to jump over.
Could you do that part of the conversation, Boko?
Yeah.
Like you rolled a 6.
Yeah. So ask her about they work with Black Sun. Who else does she know that works for Black Sun, and kind of steer that towards we've heard some things about they had some dealings with or some trouble with Maxis Free Rebels. Is there any there's no specific word about it on the street. Maybe you know something about it that you have some privileged information that might be fun or interesting to share.
Yeah.
Party talk.
I think I will make another fortune roll to see how much she's heard about what's been happening there. That's a 6. So yeah. Oops, the wrong one.
You're muted, Adish.
You hear me now?
Yeah.
Yeah. I switched microphone instead of switching cameras. That's that's very useful. Yeah. Yeah, she has heard. I heard about that there was some a raid that StreetSec hit your new new allies. But you're saying Black Sun was involved in that? That's news to me. In general, I have found that Black Sun, they at least as far as what I hear, they don't care that much about politics as long as they can ply their trade. They don't care who sits on the throne. So I don't believe they would act against the rebels because they are rebels, but they would be after something specific. If they and did you mention that they had taken Tiri, or
I don't think so. No. Just sort of asking if they had beef with them, or if they had some recent action with them.
Yeah, not that I have heard. That there may be something. You know, the rebels, they are criminals like us. They just have put a fancy name on it, but they still have to contend with the forces of oppression and their what do you say, competitors. and Black Sun could be, if they needed to finance an operation, stealing from Black Sun would definitely be an option. But it seems more likely to me that if they took a specific person, then they had a specific purpose. And they needed them. They needed her for something. I also want to be very clear that if you are intending to act against Black Sun, then I don't know anything. I haven't told you anything, and I probably have barely met you.
We don't have any reason to act against them right now. So just professional curiosity.
Yes, yes. I can see that you may want to look for a new patron if Maxa is out of the picture. And Black Sun would definitely have work for your kind. And she looks at Etema, I think, specifically there.
Edema seems really troubled at the idea of selling out the rebels. That is not where she wants things to go, but she takes that as a compliment, nods appreciatively.
So we know that we're getting the job to rescue Thierry from Black Sun from Tor, is that right? Do we have any reason to think that he might be fucking with us? Setting us up to go against Black Sun when we don't need to?
That doesn't seem likely. He and Maxa don't particularly get along, but they're still on the same side. Mm-hmm. But he's less worried about. It seems reasonable that he's actually worried about what that he's been forthright with you, that he is worried about what Thierry knows and what Black Sun could do with that knowledge. And obviously, he also knows that she has been involved with the artifact. That could also be a source of worry, even if he hasn't mentioned that specifically.
That's after hearing that, they don't get involved in politics. I was thinking, oh, is this artifact related?
Yeah.
Are we? Do we want to skip out to just us talking? Or,
yeah.
I mean, because I don't want to jump out of that unless we're happy that we're done with that scene with Bliss.
I can't think of anything. Maybe we can flash back if we need to.
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah, I think Zori, once she figures out kind of what you're after, she doesn't. She brings the meal to a close relatively quickly. She doesn't rush it. She's not rude or anything, but it's clear that and she drops some hints that if anyone asks what you were talking about, you were potential clients, you were interested in her supplying you or something like that.
Sure.
That's the cover story she's going to use if anything blows back to her.
Okay.
I think we should take a break.
Oh, yeah.
5 minutes, if that's. Yeah, so you've got some general information from Zori, nothing specifically that helps you with what you're trying to do, but maybe it gives you some some background information at least. And like we said, if you have any, if you come up with any questions, we can flash back and play into that again. You're muted, Kai.
Thank you. So I imagine we're still sitting at the table. It's pretty close to closing. We've got all these empty plates in front of us, and we're just mulling over, like, what are we going to do? So I'll start off. What are we going to do? I feel pretty blind at this point.
So what we know that Black Sun took Tiri not because of some general business they have with Max's Free Rebels, probably, but for some specific thing they wanted her for. Does that sound right?
That's what Zori seems to think, and she knows them better than we do.
Yeah,
know,
that also meshes with the information you got from Becker, where it seemed like this crew who grabbed her, like they were there specifically for her. It wasn't just any rebel or anything. It was definitely her they were.
I think.
What else do we know about her? Her specifically besides so she's connected. Oh, she's connected to the artifact. When we stabbed her, was that right? Shot her? Yeah.
I stabbed, yeah.
Had she'd already been doing stuff with the artifact, right?
Is it too much?
It was her and someone who was clearly force sensitive. They were the one who were working with the artifact when you showed up.
Yeah, and we got rid of them, right? Yeah, okay. I know Morn's not here, but I took some attune. That's right. Maybe it would be worthwhile to see if I could get some impressions off the artifact and see if I can get anything, like any connection to her through that.
Edma barely suppresses an eye roll.
Right. Rich, is that too much space magic, or are you?
Nope. Nope.
Okay.
I'm into it. We've got a whole skill for it. I'm good.
Okay.
Awesome.
Yeah, I was thinking about it, but I held back because I was like, space magic. So, all right.
Thank you.
Cool.
Thank you for checking in.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can definitely do that. I think we'll play this as Morn being a bit wary because he's starting to bond very closely with the artifact.
Yeah.
But he's willing to help you to do this thing.
Before we jump into that, do we know anything else about her that she was involved in that they might want to talk to her about or might have grabbed her for? Yeah.
You could ask Becker. He will probably know something about that. I think Maxa has tried to keep Tiri away from the front lines. She doesn't want her little sister to get involved in the fighting too much, and that's part of the reason she's been doing tech stuff. She is also a gifted technician, or techie in general. She knows what she's doing, but let's make a quick roll. Yeah, she has helped them, supplying them with like lock breakers and that sort of thing. And Becker seems a bit he doesn't know all the details, but they have hit operations that probably belong to the Black Sun, though maybe not directly. It's not
Right.
a Black Sun operation, but it's people who work for Black Sun, like 1-2 steps removed.
Nothing in their face though.
Yeah. They've avoided that. He says that they're fine with throwing the weight around with the smaller gangs, but they don't want to anger the big syndicates.
Yeah.
At least not
Okay.
yet.
Yeah.
We need to
when we
build
get-
support first.
Yeah, awesome. Yeah, so if we want to do stuff before we get back to the base, that's cool. And I'll get hands on once we get there.
Yeah.
Cool.
I think we'll play this as you'll get an extra die from Born helping you. You get an assist basically.
Let's do that then. 2 dice. 2, sounds good. Okay, here we go. Yeah, while everyone's, I guess, I don't know if I don't know how how strongly I broached this, if I just like sort of said it in passing. So I'm gonna kind of like wait to like hang with Morn a little bit, and scope it out, and then put hands on and close eyes and do the special words, see what happens.
Yeah, because Morn will want to hook you up to all his tech and that sort of thing.
Yeah.
That may or may not be what you're into.
Yeah, 2 3s. That's a couple 3s. That's a 3.
Oof. Yeah, you do make contact with the artifact. You can feel a response and that there's something there, but and you're trying to like look for images and connections and that sort of thing, but you get completely overwhelmed because this thing is ancient, and it has what you can definitely tell is that it has been moved many times to different places, and you're getting just a
everything.
flood of images and flashes of people through the thousands of years. So it's completely overwhelming. You can't fish out theory in all of that, or anyone in any specific person or place.
Yeah. Unplug and lie down for a minute. Sleep that off.
So while Boko is doing that, I have invited Eptima to meet my son.
What?
Does your son have a name?
Yeah, he's on my character sheet.
Yeah. Cool.
But what's going on is we're doing riskier and riskier things. And it's possible that Edema might have to come and get my son at some point. So that's the practical part of it. I don't know about the emotional part of it. Yeah, so he is that an A or an O? It's been so long. Sorry. Valsi, Valsi.
How old is he?
It's like 13. Is that where we were last time? 12, 11, somewhere in there. He's not a teenager, so I guess 10 or 11. Let's go with that. 10 or 11.
Mm-hmm. So he's probably not too happy about being cooped up in this apartment all the time.
So let's go to the docks and watch the ships come and go. So I guess it's a date with my son, Edema. How do you feel about that?
Good. Good. A little scared, I'll be honest. What is he like? What should I get him?
I've kept him hidden for so long. I don't know that he's had a chance to really form a lot of opinions. That's me out of character. But obviously he would have been able to like see vids and there's an Annie droid and stuff like that. He wants to be a fighter pilot. I'm sure that's what he wants to be, is a fighter pilot. So I don't know. What would you get a kid that wants to be a fighter pilot?
Probably some kind of knockoff, but still looks cool bomber jacket type deal, like a like a total jacket like Han has at the beginning of the Empire on Hoth, actually.
Yeah, the white one, right?
Yeah.
Anyway, yeah, the thick one. Yeah.
Because it gets cold down here.
Yeah, totally. Yeah, I think in our story it was very cold.
Valsey he's a bit scared of Etema at first. You can tell this, Bria. Etema, you're not sure, but he's because you look scary, but he warms to you at least a little bit. He's really happy about the jacket. Oh, this is so cool. Oh, look at the patches and that sort of thing. And he immediately puts it on and wants to wear it. But he's still a bit reserved. He asks you a couple of questions, like about your eye and that sort of thing. But he's not really. He's still a bit cautious, I guess.
Nice. When he asks about the eye, Edema, in a desperate attempt to be interesting, will like offer to pull it out. Oh, like, oh, you want to see? And like she starts to pull the housing. How does Bria react to Edema about to basically pull out her cybernetic eye housing and everything and show the hole?
If Edema looks at Bria before she does it, I have gone from the super red face of eating spicy food to like as pale as a ghost, but I'm not going to stop you.
Oh, I mean, if you want, it doesn't hurt. I could show you.
But well, pause for a second. Like cybernetics are a part of our lives, right? Like it's not like.
I mean, I think it's weird. I think there's a little bit of stigma for people that have cybernetics, but yeah, I think it's around.
Yeah, okay. I think it's not. Everyone knows that it exists. Everyone probably knows someone who has some kind of cybernetic, but it's still like for most people, it's something you get if you get a very serious injury, and most people in their everyday lives don't get that sort of injuries.
Yeah, and I have cybernetics, but it's all inside of me for that stealthy stuff. Yeah. I do.
Yeah, it's kind of like seeing someone with a glass eye. It's a thing that we know about, and nice. It's not. Yeah,
well, that's a real cool analogy. Yeah.
Then yeah, no, totally. Like, I think, and this is what I'll say. I'm like, this might. Like I'm saying to my son, I'm like you shouldn't flinch when someone does this. You've got to show them respect. They did not choose to be this way, and it's not a choice. It's a way they have to live. So make sure you give respect, and then I encourage you to take it out.
Nice.
So he looks, and he makes a face when he looks at the eye hole, but he's not like he's not disgusted. It's more like like that kind of mix of something weird and a bit creepy, but also fascinating. And he can't hide that. But he doesn't ask any more questions about it. But you catch him a couple of times during the rest of the date that he kind of looks at your eye and that sort of thing.
Cool. Edema isn't at all bothered by him being a little wigged out by it, but she seems pretty like this is just how it is. She's not embarrassed of it, but she volunteered to show it off. So she, in a way, maybe thinks it's a little cool, but yeah. So yeah, there you go. And
yeah, you
just
look at the
careful.
ships. He really likes the spaceships. He thinks it's super cool, and he knows many of the ship models and the manufacturers and that sort of thing. And he talks about it's that one has that kind of engine and that sort of thing.
Okay. Next scene, I guess.
Yeah, I think we have to choose now if we want to do a job which I think would be some kind of raid on this Black Sun office. We should probably do it now. If we don't want to do that, if we want to wait until next session, then we have plenty of time for more role play. But I think we have to decide now which way to go.
I think we have to go for it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
raid sounds good.
We're up against a wall here. So
Cool.
yeah,
So,
Edema's thought is it sucks that we don't know why this is happening, but regardless of the why, she still has to be saved. So
Yeah.
yeah. So this will be a raid on that, or you're trying to get into the office so that you can find out information about preferably where Tiri is being held, maybe why she's being held, anything extra. But the core part of the job is to find out where she is, so you can get her. That seems right.
Yeah.
all right.
Cool. So what kind of how are you talked a bit about stealth,
Yeah.
trying to sneak in, but you have other options as well.
Yeah, we need the entry point. We have the entry point. So that would be a stealth mission to me.
feels right.
Yeah. Yeah, let's do this.
Yeah, so you know the office. Are you going to take the elevator up? Do you go at night? Do you try to get in through the window? Do you go from the top? What's the general?
Kind of like coming from the outside of the window, but yeah, maybe like getting to the top somehow and coming down, depending on where they are.
What if one of us gets into the elevator shaft and we use the ladders and stuff like that? Because that's an action movie kind of thing.
Yeah.
Where you might get crushed by an elevator.
Yeah.
Turbo
so-
lift, please.
Turbo lift. All right.
I'm sorry. I was just
No, it's fine. Like perfect. Turbo lift. Yes.
Yeah, so you're using the turbo lift shafts to get inside. There will be there's no security. I mean, it's a way to sneak inside.
The tunnel rats show us a place that we can get to the sub basement, and then we get it from there. How about that?
Yeah, that's cool. That's cool.
nice.
Love it.
So you're going into the turbo lift shafts from below. It's quite a long ways to climb, but we will see what happens with the engagement roll. Okay, start with one die. Is this operation particularly bold or daring? I think so. You're
think
going
so,
straight
yeah.
into the lion's den, so to speak. So that's 1 die extra. Are you relying? Is it overly complex or contingent on many factors? I don't think so. You're just trying to get in there. Does the plan's detail expose a vulnerability of the target or hit them where they're weakest?
I mean, I don't
I
think
don't-
they expect tunnel rats to show somebody where to get in. I think that's
True. That's
Mm.
true.
if they
I
do,
think-
if they do, then they're a bit more paranoid than I am.
Yeah, I think you can get the die for that. Is the target strongest against this approach, or do they have particular defenses or special preparation? I think they have not against the infiltration itself, not against the way you're getting in, but they definitely have defenses in place to protect against intrusion.
Mhm.
So I think I'll deduct the die for that.
Fair.
Can any of your friends or contacts provide aid or insight for this operation? I think we said the tunnel rats. I think that that counts. Are any enemies or rivals interfering with the operation? I don't think so. Any other elements to consider? I think I'm going to deduct the die because you don't know exactly what you're looking for. You want to find information, but you don't know. Once you get inside, it's fairly. You don't really know what you're going to face or exactly what you're looking for. So, whoops, I don't need to change cameras. So you have 2 dice. Or unless there's something else you want to bring in.
Can't think of it.
I'll go ahead and roll.
Yep.
Let's see here. Two dice, yeah?
Yep.
6.
Nice. Yeah, so you start in a controlled position and you have oh, sorry, it's not a critical. So you haven't overcome the first obstacle, but you're in a controlled position. And I think the first obstacle is that once you open the turbolift doors on this floor, there will definitely be guards there. You'll have to handle that somehow. You don't know exactly what the layout is, but there will definitely be people guarding the elevators or the turbolift. And and you can bypass that in some way, but that's the first thing you have to deal with. But you're in a control position, so you have, and the main thing with control position is that you can try something, and if you roll badly, you can withdraw without anything terrible happening. So you can probe a bit without immediate consequences.
What are our feelings about violence level on this job? Do we want to just
Oh, right. You
blast
also
our
need
way
to
in,
choose
or
your
do we
layout
wanna-
or your.
Oh yeah, I'm going in heavy.
Yeah.
Do we want to try to be discreet and non-lethal in case we need to talk our way out of it later, or do we just want to like cut our way through and not worry about it?
Edema will. If we have that conversation, Edema's answer is, it's the Black Sun. We're not going to talk our way through anything. We get caught, we're going to burn.
Show of force there.
Kind of the point of a stealth mission is that they preferably shouldn't notice that you're there or that you have been there. But
Right.
you know, if you're discovered, who knows what's going to happen.
But are we knocking guys out and dragging them into a closet, or slitting their throat and throwing them off a building?
Oh, I see. Yeah. Well, so long-term thinking, if Black Sun's taking action against the owner, like towards the artifact or whatever, right? If they put enough muscle in play, like they may just force us to join them, right?
Mhm.
So I don't want them to be our employer, but they might be our employer at some point. So let's kill the least amount of them that we can. And God, I hate to say that because I'm such a I hate doing that. But
Well, Zori works for them. I've worked for the Black Sun. It's a job.
all right. All right.
So lean towards non-lethal, but if we have to
Yeah,
kill someone, don't worry about it.
Everybody's a Greedo. Yeah. They're just friends we haven't shot yet. So let's keep it that way. I'm going normal, simply because I'd like to be a little bit faster if need be, but not light because I think we might need some stuff here.
Yeah.
So what's the? Go ahead.
So Etama and Boko, you're going heavy, which means you're a bit. I mean, climbing the turbolift shaft for like 20 floors. That's going to wear you out a little bit. It's not like you're completely exhausted or anything, but you can feel it.
Okay.
Into it.
So I guess I'm a little bit faster ascending. Maybe I would encounter whatever our first obstacle is first, while everybody's catching it.
You can get to the floor through the turbolift shaft, but once you're there, there's going to be guards outside the turbolift. You can probably, I mean, there are probably ways you can evade that if you can find some way through some service air ducts or the equivalent. That's probably a possibility. Or maybe you can distract the guards, or you have options other than just getting out and killing them or knocking them out. But you'll have to tell me how you want to handle it. But the first obstacle is that there are guards.
Morn has somniject, causes target to become groggy or unconscious. Could we have that like as a gas we could release or something?
Yeah, absolutely. Morn can supply you with that. I think that would count as one load of something for someone to have, if you want enough to like knock out the guards in a room.
An unusual weapon is what I'll put down.
Yeah,
And-
yeah, that makes sense.
Okay, so that would be a prowl roll or a skirmish roll.
I think prowl works for knocking people out stealthily with
ambush
with
close, yeah, ambush closely. So, all right, 2 dice. Let's see what happens. Got a 4, 2 and a 4.
So let's see. I have to check because I don't remember when last anyone was in a control position. You can withdraw and try a different approach, or you can do it and suffer a consequence. And this is a minor thing, a minor complication, reduced effect, lesser harm, or your position becomes risky.
So what is the consequence, and I cannot resist it?
You can resist, yes.
Okay.
I think this would be.
They raise an alarm because I'm not quick enough.
That could work, yeah.
It's
There's no like.
It's supposed to be minor though, right?
Yeah, I think this would be. Yeah, you knock them out. but there are you'll have to hide the unconscious bodies, or someone will discover them quite quickly. Like you can hear that there are people moving around in the office, and someone will come. Actually, like, no, sorry, change that. You knock them out, but you can hear someone calling them on a comm unit. So you'll have to deal with that.
Okay.
Does that
All
sound
right.
fair as a minor consequence?
Yeah. Yeah. I will resist that with resolve and just reply and answer that, like, everything's normal, that kind of thing.
Yeah. Yeah.
How are you?
Yep.
Yeah,
So I'll,
yeah.
so that's 3 dice, and I get to subtract them from 6. See how much stress I take.
Yeah.
A 4. Whew. That takes 2 stress.
Yeah, that's pretty rough with 3 dice. But yeah, you answer, and they seem to, yeah, okay. They don't seem to have an elaborate protocol or anything for their comps. So you can fake an answer that will keep them away from here for a while.
Okay. Okay.
So now you're on. You can get out of the elevator shaft, or the turbolift shaft. And, you're on the floor, or on the level, the floor. Yeah, I mean, yeah, sorry, the floor of the building, not the floor of the. Yeah, sorry, a bit tired. Yeah, and these are there are offices. It's Star Warsy architecture. You have some sliding doors and that sort of thing. You can hear that there are people on this floor, but there aren't that many of them. You've obviously chosen a time where there's as few people here as possible. But I mean, yeah, and this is one of the things with having this sort of huge Econopolis. Reasonably, there should be no day and night, because like who knows the difference. But anyway, you're there at night, the night shift, whatever. There's not as many people there, but there will always be someone there doing something. Yeah, what do you do now?
So our goal here is to gather information, right? We want to find a terminal we can slice into, or file somewhere, or someone who we can transfer info.
Yeah. So I guess we need to search for a room with consoles in them.
Yeah.
Can we do that as a group action?
Yeah, that seems sensible.
I'll take the lead on that, since I've got
Good.
3 stress.
Thank you.
Yeah, got it.
Yeah.
I know how to conduct a raid. I used to do this.
Yeah.
So yeah, so hand signals, all the.
So is this a study roll, or?
I think it's a survey, because we're surveying a location to understand what's going on.
Okay.
Yeah, maybe.
Or no, actually a hunt, because it's gather information about a location.
Yeah, that's hunted target. I think.
Gather information about a location and its movement.
I think prowl is the, if I were to choose, I think prowl, because your main goal is to not be detected.
Seen. Accepted, yeah.
and I mean finding a terminal. That's just you look into the room. Is there a terminal there or not?
Right.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, totally. Oh yeah, that works out great. I have no problem. Cool. So yeah, I'll just take 2 dice.
So this is Boko, you're taking point, you're doing the hand
Yeah.
signals, you're pointing and stop, hide
Oh.
here, that sort of thing. Yeah.
Cool. 2 dice for me is a 5.
The 5 for Eptima.
Yeah, 1 die from Edema, and it's a 5.
You all succeeded.
Right.
Yeah, so no
Good
stress,
time.
but you get the middling result. You're still in a control position. Nobody knows you're here. You can hide, that sort of thing. So either withdraw and try a different approach, which means basically you notice that there are too many people moving through the corridors. You're going to be discovered. So you pull back and try something else. Instead of sneaking around, you'll have to try something different, or you get do it and suffer consequence. And I think in this case your position would become risky because there are people moving around. You can evade them, but you know that sooner or later you will bump into someone and something will go really wrong. You can resist that if you want to.
Does this count as gathering info to locate a target, or would that be not applicable?
I don't think so.
Yeah, I agree. Okay, cool. Yeah, I'll take the consequence and try to resist it.
Yeah, cool. So you do it, but you resist. What do you want to resist with?
Seems like
Like
prowess is
prowess
the
or
right
muscle.
one to do. I would love to do insight, but yeah, prowess is probably the right one.
Cool.
So let's
So you have
do
2 dice.
2 dice. Just. Ooh, that's a lot of stress. Okay.
Yeah.
Yay.
more stress.
Mm, mm,
For some reason, you're not totally relaxed thinking around with heavy weapons inside a Black Sun.
Might be some close calls. Yeah.
Yeah. So since you resisted, you're still in a controlled position. Now you have found what seems like an office of someone important. And there is a terminal there. You haven't been spotted. There's nobody else in the room. So what do you want to do now? There is like actually, let's not just say it's terminal. There's a comms console. So you know there's communications there, and there is kind of there is, I want to say like a miniature version of the huge tower with hard drives in Rogue One. Like there is a wall of different data storage units, and there is a machine there that will retrieve them and can read the information. And it's possible that then they'll, if they want to transmit that information, they'll take the physical unit, plug it into the comms console, and transmit it that way.
I have slicing tools. I could do the slicing.
Yep.
Sure.
Absolutely.
What would the slicing be under? I also have slicing tools. Yeah, go for it.
Yeah,
Tinker,
slicing computers
0.
directly under Tinker. Yeah.
And here I think we'll have to bring in that they are quite a lot higher tier than you are. So you will have reduced effect. I think this will be like this will be a clock probably. Let's make this
Could we flash back to getting better slicing tools?
Yeah, but it's a downtime action, so it's going to cost you because
okay,
it's acquire an asset,
Got
and it's probably going to cost you quite a lot to get tools that are on tier 4, which is what they
Oh.
are. So
Oh, right. Yeah. Okay. No.
but I think this is, let's see, I think this is a 6 o'clock to find the right information. I will put one on the current jobs.
Is there a counter clock for someone finding us or getting locked out of the system or something?
Not currently, but that's definitely, I think, actually, let's do this. I will put up an 8 o'clock for someone finding.
Okay.
Because you are in a control position, you've done a very good job of staying hidden, so it's not immediate.
Got it.
It's not an immediate threat, but
So is Boko slicing or is Bria slicing?
Bria probably should be doing that because I don't have any tinker.
I'm the only tinker. Yes, well, Morn would have been a good tinker guy.
Yep.
Yeah.
Are there controls on the inside that we could easily like lock or secure the door, or should we do that in another way? Just so no one walks in. Or like if there's probably not a security camera anywhere we can see.
yeah, I don't think there are any cameras. I think my view generally is that there aren't that many security cameras in Star Wars.
Yeah.
And I don't think a criminal organization would want that many cameras
They
inside
don't want a
their
record. Yeah.
base of operations. So,
So if there's an easy way to lock or secure the door from the inside, we'll do that.
yeah, you can definitely you can lock like with the panel. You can lock the door. You don't know there's probably some sort of override or something, but you can at least do the basic so that it's not just push the button and the door open.
Right. Cool.
Cool.
Get this license.
Okay. Is there a devil's bargain?
Ooh. There is a devil's bargain. Let me look at some things. Yeah, the devil's bargain is that there is actually a droid brain hooked up to this this computer system, and it's very helpful. But it's going to remember that you were here. It probably can't see you and describe you, but it will know that someone retrieved files.
What do y'all think, guys?
Yeah, not for that.
Yeah. All right. All right. I will roll 2d6 then, as I have a 1 tinker. Let's pull a Ninja Turtle and start slicing and dicing.
Oh, nice.
6. 6.
Nice. That is, let's see. I think actually the droid brain is going to give you increased effect as well. Anyway, I think you're yeah, I think you're getting great effect from that. So you'll get 3 ticks. At this point, let's put 3 ticks from that. I'm going to make a fortune roll. Yeah, Etma and Boko, you're standing by the door. You can hear someone walk past outside in the corridor, but they don't seem to stop here. So you're
Could this
safe
be-
for another roll.
Well, if they've walked past, then maybe you could sneak up behind them and knock them out.
If you
Are we,
want.
are we playing a stealth game? Yeah.
I think just letting him go is probably the better bet
Yeah.
for now.
Even Edom is like, yeah, we can let this fight go.
All right. All right. So we so that was 3 ticks on the 6 clock.
Yeah.
All right.
You're safe for one more roll.
Okay. Maybe to switch things up, like I take a look, I study the data and see where exactly I need
Yeah.
to pinpoint for the next one.
Yeah. You found the droid brain has helped you find the correct data cassette or whatever I don't know what they call it. This data storage unit, and which shows at least some of their safe house locations.
Right.
And now you can scan through that to find if there's been any recent changes and see if she's being held in one of them.
Okay. Let's Boko, let's you and me do a group action and split the data. You look at the first half, I look at the second half or something like that.
Sounds good.
I technically have the less stress, I guess. So maybe I'll lead it. So that's a 1 die. I will roll my 1 die.
And we're doing this with
Study.
Study.
So,
Yeah.
I got one.
A 5. Okay.
Okay, there's 1. 3.
Okay. That's a lot of stress, yo. That's a lot of stress.
So 1 stress, and but you get the final 3 ticks. Since you're only looking for this, you want to find Thierry. You're not looking for anything else.
Right.
You just you scan through quickly. You find you don't find her name, but you find a place where they have noted rebel technician, and that seems unlikely to refer to anyone else, and it fits in time when she was taken. She is being held at the location in the scrapyard, actually out in the fridge. So this is the area closest to the Rend. The Rend is the big collapsed part, and the fringe is it's a dangerous area, often raided by bandits, that sort of thing. It's kind of a borderland.
So this droid brain, is it physically in the room?
It's you have like the console that fetches these things. It's sort of plugged into it on top of it. It's just the droid brain. It doesn't have any eyes, but it has a speech unit, so you can talk to it.
It's friendly and helpful.
I think a tier 4 droid brain would be something I'd want to take.
Well, if you don't mind someone noticing that someone's been here, you can definitely do that. Because so far, you haven't left any real tracks other than that the droid brain knows that someone was here and accessed this particular cassette, this particular data unit. But the droid brain doesn't know what information you took from that that data unit.
Okay.
Does the droid brain have a name?
Yeah, it's Britzel,
Rixel.
BR1ZL.
Nice.
One thing up real quick. Could we like map exactly what we've done and let the bolt smashers know there's this droid here, and maybe they won't be -2 with us. Maybe they will like appreciate knowing where they can liberate a droid brain. I don't know. What do you guys think about that?
Yeah, and if we give them like, oh, we know we have an entry point, know the guards' schedules or whatever, it should be an easy walk in, walk out.
That's wild. I like it.
Love it.
So
Cool.
we are at war with Black Suns, but that's fine.
We're at 0 with Black Sun, but we're -2 with the Bolt Smashers. I'm just trying to not be at war with
That's
everybody.
clever. I'm into it. I'm
Yeah,
into
love
it.
it. Love
Okay,
it.
cool. Let's get the Kark out of here then.
Yeah, go for it. Yeah, the brain doesn't know who we are. I just know
Right.
someone accessed something and doesn't know what. We're fine.
Yeah. It knows you looked at that particular set of information, which was like, where are there safe houses, that sort of
Right.
thing. But it doesn't know which particular one you were looking for or anything like that. So it doesn't have any details.
Yeah. It hasn't raised any, like, no one's gonna, there's no alarm on it. There's like no, if someone asks, they will find out, but it's not gonna like raise any flags.
Yeah. It's not going to say, oh, someone was here and looked at this and this.
Yeah.
Information,
When they do an
unless
audit,
they-
find out. Yeah.
So what's our exit? Is it the way we came in, or have
Same
we planned
way.
something
Yeah.
else?
I think same way.
It's
I
not
am.
compromised. Let's take it.
Well, okay. We're pretty close to the top floor though, right? I'm just
You
saying.
can go
it
to
might-
the top floor. You have a window you can exit through if you want to do something like that. More difficult perhaps to do without leaving traces.
Okay. Back out the way we came then.
Yeah, same way out.
Mm-hmm.
So do you want, I figure that's another prowl group action.
Sounds like a
I'll
plan.
lead it.
Nice.
Happy
Yeah,
to
you
lead.
have by far the least stress.
Yeah, I'm
right now.
good.
yeah, look at
Fail
that.
all you want, friends. There's no way you're gonna hurt me. I'll prowl
Well,
last.
You might have to resist a consequence if we all fail. But anyway, you're roll last. Okay, I'll roll
Yeah,
first.
I'll
Next. Got a 5.
Nice.
4.
Nice. There goes my 1. A 3 for me. Eat a stress from my own activity. Perfect.
Well, we're just not doing everything right. Like, you have to keep telling us to
Guys,
Stop.
come on.
be quiet.
Totally.
Yeah, Etomas the one who has to jump back around the corner because someone just came around from the other side, and you have to push one of the others in front of you because there's someone coming from behind. So you're the one who's most rattled by this. You're still in a control position, so either you do this and there's a consequence that you can resist, or you withdraw and try something different. I think you were intending to resist if there's a consequence.
Yeah, I'll resist.
Yeah, and I think here it's just someone notices, someone sees you right when you leave. They probably not enough that they can identify you, but they will know that someone was there. That's the consequence.
It definitely leaves some breadcrumbs back to running an audit, which immediately means they're going to lock down safe houses. I'd like to resist it.
Yeah. Cool.
Now, do we term this as me because I was leading a group action protecting a teammate, or do you think I should be resisting it just straight up?
I think this is straight up.
Okay, that's fair.
Resistance.
I thought it was borderline, so I wanted to check in.
Yeah.
And
Because protect is specifically when you take a consequence for someone else. And since you're leading the group
yeah,
action,
then I'm taking
I
my
think
own
you're-
consequence.
the
Okay,
consequence is on you.
all right, that sounds fine to me. Then, should I be resisting with my best? I'm sorry, I'm a little. I can't remember. Do I
You
resist with?
choose.
I
As
choose.
long as
I'll
you
go
can justify
prowess
it.
because we're prowling anyway, so it feels
Yeah,
like that's the right
yeah,
way to go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Prowess makes perfect sense here.
Yeah. However you describe resisting it is how you choose your
Yeah.
role.
Here we go. 3, 4, 4, 3. So 2 stress, right?
Yep.
Yep.
Here we go. Now I got a little stress. Well, did I didn't mark the stress from me failing too. So there you go. 2 stress.
No, I think you were at 3.
Yep.
Yep. So now I'm at 6.
We're all stressed out. Yeah.
Cool. So then it's just the long climb down the turbolift shaft, but you have the information. You know where to go. Excellent. That's by far the smoothest job you've ever
Yeah.
done, I think.
As we're getting to the turbo lift doors, and I'm looking at the sleeping guards, I'm just like, got that killing itch, but I don't do anything.
Edema sees that look in Bria's eye.
The audience is like posting on the internet. They're like, we haven't seen a corpse in forever. What's going on with this show?
The body count is so low in season 4.
Who's the showrunner now? Who's writing these episodes?
I mean, you started with a huge action scene in the sewers. We need to cool things off a bit before we get back to that. Yeah, cool. You make it out. No problems. Let's see. Do we want to take another break, or do we just keep going?
Oh, break sounds good.
Excellent. So, looking at the fallout, you're not going to get paid because you're doing this for yourselves. You haven't performed the job for Tor. If you want to tell him, or if you want to do that thing. And unless you tell someone, and you were talking about telling the bolt smashers, unless you tell someone, no one will know you did the job, which means you don't get any rep, but you also get very little heat. I think you still get heat even if you don't tell anyone, because there will be general stuff, but you're not going to get much heat anyway. I think it's like 2 or something. 3, maybe. Yeah, sorry. But if you tell the bolt smashers, you will get the rep. They will offer to. Well, let's do it this way. Do you want to tell the bolt smasher?
Yeah, I think it'll be fun.
Yeah, that sounds cool.
Cool. And Becker, he has a contact there, so he'll, since you're not on exactly friendly terms with the bolt smashers, but he can provide that. They're willing to pay you, I think, like 3 creds for this information. If you don't take the money, you'll get a bigger reputation boost with them. You will get a boost either way because you provided them with useful information. If you don't take the credit, I think you'll get a +1. You'll get a +2 if you don't take the money.
Edema will forego the creds on her behalf because staying out of a war with this group is good. Like that was the whole pitch from Bria.
Yeah, I think that's a good way to go.
But the only thing I want to say is like, but do we want to look like we work for free? You know, just is that the seed of a reputation that starts like, oh, well, they're very, you know, altruistic and they'll just give you information for free.
I think in this case, you can frame it as we know we have been in. We know we hit you before. You weren't the ones we were after. This is our way of making amends for.
Yeah,
It's a peace offering. Yeah.
Okay,
peace
I get.
offering.
Yeah, I'm with that. I'm definitely with that.
Yeah.
But also it's like as soon as they get that brain, then there is zero evidence that we were ever there. And my paranoia strikes again.
That's we'll see.
Well, it's an attempt to cover all of our tracks. So
Yeah.
Or at least the Bolt Smashers are the only ones with the evidence.
Well, yeah, they'll be a friendly organization then.
Yeah.
You will get since you do tell them, they will know that you were there.
Sure.
So you will get a rep. That means you get 2 + 1 per tier higher. I think that's +3. They're tier 4 and you're tier 1. So that's 5 rep. That's nice. So I will enter that here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That means you're 1 away from getting a stronghold at tier 1.
Oh,
hey,
yeah.
All right. Yeah.
Nice.
Right. We're doing good.
Yeah. Then we get to heat. This was definitely smooth and quiet, low exposure. So the base level is 0 heat. Target is high profile or well connected. Yes, they're Black Sun. So that's 1. Action happened on hostile turf. Yes. You're at war with another faction. Yes, but I need to check your special ability. No, that's just your hold and downtime activity. So that's another 1. But there was no killing, and that doesn't matter for you much anyway. But that's 3 heat. They will notice that someone's been there since the guards were put to sleep, but they don't know what happened. They just know someone was here and did something, and that's all they know. So that's 3 heat, which puts you 1 away from another wanted level. So probably want to do something about that.
Yeah.
I wonder if Matt, is it Matt, right? Morn's player. I wonder if he'd be down for Morn being incarcerated to lower our wanted level.
Ooh.
It's harsh.
Yeah.
And then if he ever comes back, we can break him out.
Yeah, that's super fun.
Yeah.
It's up to him, obviously, but
absolutely. Yeah, that's very cool. So for entanglements, let's go to the dice cam. I need to
Dice cam,
this.
dice cam. We need a dice cam theme song.
let's hire Matt.
So let's see. Now your heat is 6+. You have a wanted level of 2, so that's 2 dice. Take the highest.
Yay.
That's a 4. 4 and a 2, so that's 4, which means dark bargain or show of force. So let the camera back up and we can check those. Dark bargain, a powerful individual or faction offers you a deal. Accept it, hide until they lose interest or forfeit 3 rep, or find another way to deal with the situation. That's one option, or show of force. The faction you have a negative status with makes play for one of your holdings. You don't have any holdings. So I think Dark Bargain is more interesting as well at this point. I will come up with something there. Yeah, I will come up with something interesting for you to deal with there next time. And yeah, that's it.
So maybe do XP and then Stars and Wishes, or
Yeah. I think that's what that makes sense. Okay, let's start with Etema. Did you address a challenge with violence or coercion?
We didn't have any chances for violence. Coercion? I mean, I was part of the talk to Zora for. I don't think so.
you coerced my son into liking you.
All right, I bribed him. Taking the XP. Come on. No.
No, I don't think so.
Maybe you get violent, then I'll get the XP. Damn it. Okay, no XP. Just my XP has been really low the last 2 sessions. Okay, all right. I'll hush. Let's keep going.
Did you express your beliefs, drives, heritage, or background?
I think so. I think like the scene with the sun talked a little bit about her background, also talking about the Black Sun and her offering up like, I've worked with him and this is bad. I definitely think I at least got one on that one.
Yeah, definitely one. Let's look at the other one and see if there's
Visor trauma. She was real good. Like I almost had her get drunk at the fork, but she didn't. She just was good. So I don't think we had any struggles with visor trauma there.
Yeah, I think you should get 2 for your drives, heritage, or background.
I'll take it.
You had the talk with Valsi and that was the name, right? Yep. And you did have some input on Black Sun as well. So I think that's
cool. Thank you.
Boko, did you address a challenge with tracking or violence?
I sure did. Yeah, I was tracking.
Yep. I think 1 for that, probably.
Yeah. That's right.
Did you express your beliefs, drives, heritage, or background?
A cop background for coordinating the raid.
Yeah, and when you were talking to Zori a bit as well. I think.
Yeah.
So definitely
I'll take 1 for
at least
that.
1 there. Did you struggle with issues from your vice or trauma?
Well, unless you count the weird. No, probably not. Unless you count the
Didn't really
overwhelm
struggle
from the
with, but I
artifacts.
think,
Yeah.
I mean, interfacing with the artifact is kind of expressing your beliefs and drives. So I think 3 total, 1 for tracking and 2 for drives and such.
I'll take it.
Fair.
Yeah.
Bria, address a challenge with stealth or evasion.
Yes.
Yeah, definitely an XP for that. Express your beliefs, drives, heritage, or background.
Yeah, so I introduced my kid to Edema, and you could almost say heritage, because like we just didn't roll up on Zori's like place, like we invited her to dinner, right? Like it's kind of the way that I would handle things as opposed to maybe other gangs might handle things. So
yeah, that seems fair. So I think 2 for that probably. Struggle with issues from your vice or trauma.
I had the exact opposite. My vice worked out for me twice. So my son didn't like throw a tantrum or anything like that. So yeah, so 2 XP, it sounds like to me.
I think 3 total. I think I want to give you 2 for beliefs, drives, heritage,
Okay.
background,
Awesome.
and 1 for stealth. So yeah,
Perfect.
sorry,
Okay.
Rich only got 2, but
It's okay. I'll kill some people tomorrow.
yeah.
So I'm taking
So-
fringe benefits to take the to pay for my apartment.
Yeah.
And so now that makes more sense in the fiction. Perfect. Okay.
And for the crew, let's see. Did you execute a successful battle, extortion, sabotage, or smash and grab operation? I'm going to say no.
Wow. Wow.
Contend with challenges above your current station? Yes. Did you bolster your crew's reputation or develop a new one?
We did with the bolt smasher idea, I think.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and I think this plays into your professional reputation
Mhm.
actually, because this was a very smooth job.
Yeah.
You did everything really well. So I think that's I think it's 1 for that probably.
Yeah.
Did you express the goals, drives, inner conflict, or essential nature of the crew?
Yeah.
I think the whole
Yeah,
like
yeah.
let's have dinner, that said a lot about our essential
Professional.
nature.
Yep.
Yeah, I think
Yeah, for sure.
definitely that. And I think kind of also Bria and Etima's, like Bria talking to or preparing for the possibility that Etima will have to take care of her son. I think that that plays into that as well. So
But
that-
all yeah.
Yeah.
But also, even if you want to count that as a half, the other half would be like when we were pushed into a corner as to whether or not we're going to save Tiri or not, we said we've got to push forward. And I think it's part of our shows our goals, right?
yeah,
Like,
yeah,
you know, when it got really hard and we weren't getting what we needed, we still pushed forward.
Yeah.
So,
yeah. So that's I count 4 total for that. 1 for challenges above your station, 1 for your reputation, and 2 for the last.
Sounds good.
That
Ooh,
gives
we
you
roll.
an advance.
so I have a
There's one more.
suggestion.
Yeah.
Fiends. Fear is as good as respect. You may count each wanted level as if it were turf.
Yeah.
We're about to roll into a 3rd wanted level. Do we really want? So if we're going to sell out Morn for prison, do we want to do this?
That's true.
I'm just
That's
throwing it
true.
out.
Yeah.
Well, we're already at 2 wanted, so that's 2 turf straight up. Which would
That means
push
you immediately roll up into a strong hold.
Yeah.
And
Okay.
let's face it, your wanted level is going to go up again, even if if Morn gets.
It's
gets
true. If he gets
convicted.
pinched, it's going up. Cool.
Or we can get like multiple little clicks on the lower right hand corner thing, right? So we could get a truck or a barge or a vault or a. How much does it cost? Yeah.
You can get either you get 1 special ability, or you get 2 upgrades. And upgrades include the stuff for your lair and that sort of thing, and the crew upgrades there with rigging and tube contacts and that sort of thing.
The only thing I see there is the hardened. If we can get 3 ticks on that, we all get +1 trauma box.
Why do we have patron click twice?
Oh, that's probably just me copying it in twice.
Okay. Yeah. One says half
Once-
the coin, the other says half the creds. So
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
just one of. I'll just delete the one that's on.
I
all
wonder,
good.
I wonder if there was
We'll
something
fix
else
that later.
Yeah.
yeah, did we didn't have any other advances that I remember. War dog cleaners,
Yeah.
predators. Okay.
I mean, we could check the old character keeper
Yeah.
too if we wanted to, but
Let me
Yeah, I-
have a quick look at from the assassins. You had cleaners, predators, and patron.
okay. Yeah, we
Okay,
took War Dog
we're good.
recently. Yeah, I really recommend going with Fiends then.
Fiend sounds
Yeah,
good.
I like Fiend a lot.
Cool. So fiends, and that means you immediately roll up into stronghold with 1 rep left.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh. Right.
I'll
Boom.
click into turf there.
And it makes it
Um,
easier for us to wrap up. Oh my goodness.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
So now we can start connecting the map, right? Like we can start pursuing things that are connected to the turf. Oh boy.
You could do that before as well. It's just the effect of the holdings that are just turf is that it costs you less rep to increase your tier.
Which is great.
I like the idea of us setting up fighting pits and getting money during downtime. I like that.
Yeah, also that'd be a thing that Adam would be super into, and our buddy Betty would be the star. Get her down
Yeah,
here.
and we can start bringing in those things
And
from
your-
there.
And your aunt too. Your aunt wanted to be
Oh, yeah,
involved in
yeah,
that
yeah,
stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's real
Yeah.
cool.
So what is that? Is that a clock of some sort? Is that like a, how do we do those things?
It can be that you do a job specifically
Yeah.
to arrange for this. You can do it in other ways, like with some sort of long-term project and that sort of thing. But I think the standard way is that you do a job.
Yeah.
Cool.
And it's more difficult to get the ones. I think we talked about this last time or the time before. Normally, you
following
build out from your lair. You take the ones that are closest first, but you can skip over something, but then it will be more difficult to get those.
If we just choose the turf to the left of us and the turf to the right of us, then we have access to fighting pits. Or if we took the 2 turfs to the right of us, we'd have access to informants, protection racket, Corset Confederates, and warehouses. So
Yeah, sorry. The thing you get now with fiends, you don't actually get this turf. It's just that it counts as turf.
Oh, my bad. Okay. Well, still, that map is intriguing me. I'd love to.
Yeah.
I've never done that in a campaign of Blades, so I'd really like to do that.
It's fun. We did it a little bit in the forum game I was in, but there we got to it very early. And I think the guy who was running it was pushing for that because to get that in play. Cool. I think that's everything. I think we'll stop the recording, do some stars and wishes, and discuss how we'll take things forward next year.
Sounds good.
Yeah.